A big reward is set to be announced for information leading to the arrest of armed robbery suspects.
It's concerning if a drone is taken off from a hospital that the public is unaware of that.
The Chula Vista Police Department is addressing safety and privacy concerns over the use of its drone program.
An old way of flying is getting a new look, the cleaner and quieter way to travel.
Our chance of rain increases throughout the week. We'll talk about how much we're going to see, time it all out for you. It is 6 a.m. and you're up with CBS 8.
Glad you're with us here on this Monday. Hope you had a nice weekend, everyone. I'm Eric Connard.
And I'm Netta Irampur. And we do want to start off with your forecast. Meteorologist Evan Durrani tracking our chance of rain for the week.
Yeah.
Ooh, finally some winter weather, I guess.
This one's got a lot of people talking already.
We're already moving into that range of wet weather. It's been about time. I mean, we have been waiting weeks for this. Usually December is a very wet month for us. We usually would have picked up on closer to an inch of precipitation so far in the month of December, and we have not picked up on anything. So this will be our opportunity. This morning there are a few scattered showers around, but mostly dry weather is what we're looking at. Temperatures in the low 70s for this afternoon after what was a very dry, warm weekend too. 77 is what we saw for Saturday, 74 on Sunday along the coast. Today we're going for 71. So you see how those temperatures are falling, and we'll get into the 60s by the time we get to the end of the week. Right now, it seems like Thursday, Friday, those are going to be our two best days for us to pick up on that rain. Here's what satellite radar looks like right now. Again, mostly dry out there, but a few sprinkles to contend with. We'll talk about the more widespread wet weather that will be coming our way by the end of the week and how your Christmas Eve and Christmas Day are shaping up too. Back to you.
Ivan, thank you so much for that. And later on today, the Neighborhood Market Association expected to announce a big reward for any information that leads to the arrest of several people who've been accused of carrying out armed robberies all across San Diego.
Yeah, over the weekend, 3 arrests were made, but police are hoping to make more. CBS 8's Regina Orita live outside San Diego Police Headquarters now with what we know about the arrests that have been made here. Regina?
Yeah, good morning, guys. And I can tell you that this is certainly some relief for the liquor store workers and owners who were victims during these armed robberies. Now, these are 3 suspects who have been arrested, but San Diego police have not confirmed the location to which robberies they've been connected to. So far, they've only confirmed that they've made a traffic stop on December 15th. They've arrested 2 16-year-old males and 1 14-year-old male. Police say they were all connected to at least 6 armed robberies targeting liquor stores around the county. These are thieves who run into convenience stores. They're fully covered in ski masks. In some incidents, they've pointed the gun at clerks demanding cash. In other cases, the armed robbers have ripped out the cash register and then taken off. SDPD also found out that one of the suspects arrested is wanted in connection to a series of delivery driver robberies. All 3 suspects have been booked into juvenile hall, and their identities are being withheld since they are minors. Now, later today, the Neighborhood Market Association will have a news conference with law enforcement officials. They're planning to announce a $20,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of any additional armed robbery suspects. San Diego Crime Stoppers will also offer up to $1,000 for information leading to arrests. So back out here live, that meeting is set for noon, and we could be receiving additional new information from San Diego police, whether it's how many suspects they're looking for or how they connected these arrested suspects to the armed robberies. But of course, we will keep you updated as more details are being developed. I'll send things back to you guys.
All right, similar crimes were happening at 2 Bevmo liquor stores over the weekend, one in Encinitas, the other in Carmel Mountain Ranch.
Yeah, a group of burglars smashed the store's windows to steal expensive liquor inside. That's according to police. Now, these smash and grab thefts have become a growing issue, keeping glass technicians very busy. One technician telling us the damage done by criminals can get very expensive for businesses.
Typically because these systems are not cheap, so people will kind of recklessly break in any way they can just to kind of, do petty theft.
A spokesperson for Bevmo's parent company, GoPuff, tells us the safety of their team and stores is their top priority. We reached out to the San Diego County Sheriff's Department to try to get more information on who they might be looking for in these smash and grabs of the 2 Bevmos. Well, as soon as they get back to us, we'll be sure to provide updates, and we'll have that here on the air or on our website, cbs8.com. And now this morning, Chula Vista Police Department addressing safety and privacy concerns over the use of their drones.
Yeah, this comes after community concerns over drones seen launching from the top of Sharp Hospital. CBS 8's Chris Groh live in Chula Vista now with more on what we've learned here. Chris?
Yeah, good morning. And there is a list of approved sites in which the drones can take off from. The site was not listed. And so when people started to see drones taking off, they became concerned, especially those who actually worked on some of the groups to talk about transparency as well as privacy when Chula Vista first launched this program.
There have to be safeguards put in place to protect sensitive data and information, such as our privacy.
And so we reached out to the Chula Vista Police Department, and they told us that, yes, that this is a approved site to actually go ahead and launch these drones. However, they were not on the list. They have since our inquiry, the hospital has been added to that to that list. The site has been added along with all other public drone flight paths. Now, as for what the Chula Vista Police Department is allowed to do, they are allowed to record flight times, police case numbers, locations of calls for service, the reason behind the calls, GPS coordinates, and flight paths, essentially anything that data that requires them to launch that drone, and they are allowed to record anything above their sightline. In fact, the department is one of the first to receive FAA approval for police to do this. Now, Chula Vista Police Department also says the department's policy specifically prohibits the use of drones for, quote, general surveillance or general patrol operations. Rios believes, who you just heard from, Pedro Rios, believes the department should do more to inform the public, the patients, and the staff surrounding this specific site. Now, again, for more information on what the Chula Vista Police Department does with their drone program, you can read our web story, the online version of this story, on our website at cbs8.com. Eric and Netta.
Chris Grow live in Chula Vista for us. Thank you for that. The woman accused in a fatal hit and run crash in North Park is set to appear in court today. Donna Jacobs is expected to give up her driver's license. She pleaded not guilty earlier this month. Authorities say the 76-year-old drove about 65 feet with a victim on the hood of her car. It happened last month as 42-year-old Stephen DeBow was walking on Polk Avenue and Utah Street. He died days later. Jacobs is denying all charges against her, saying that she's innocent.
Later on this morning, Congressman Scott Peters introducing a bill that he says will help ease the barrier that female police officers face in finding childcare. The Providing Childcare for Police Officers Act authorizes $24 million in state funding for the next 5 years. It also allows Health and Human Services to give grants up to $3 million to open childcare centers. It would also set aside 20% of funding for police stations with fewer than 200 officers.
And now, in about 4 hours, the city of San Clemente is kicking off its shoreline sand replenishment project. This is a big one. The city plans to add 251,000 cubic yards of sand. It starts today. They're going to make a 50-foot beach between Linda Lane and T Street. So the goal of all this to reduce coastal storm damage to properties along the shoreline and reduce the threat of bluff collapses. We certainly saw that earlier this year with all the heavy rain that was coming there. The project will be repeated every 5 to 6 years for a total sand volume of 2 million cubic yards. It will cost about $9.3 million in federal funding. So starting this project now ahead of the rain that's on its way.
Yeah, let's get a check on that forecast and what we can expect here this week. We haven't said we're going to have a wet week in a long time.
Yeah, the entire month of December has been dry, so this will be our first opportunity.
Wow.
Normally we've had over an inch on the ground in many spots, especially inland. We're finally going to get well over an inch, it looks like. Some of our models push us closer to 2 inches in this about 5-day stretch, so between now and the end of the week. We start off with just a few sprinkles out there as we kick off your Monday morning. It was a dry weekend, though, so we can at least celebrate the dry skies that we had and now usher in some wet weather throughout the week. Our daily opportunity at showers is going to increase day to day. So that's going to bring us to Thursday and Friday, our best opportunity for that rain. Looks like a few showers are right now over the Palomar Mountain area. A little bit of a wider picture shows you how up across the Bight, Santa Barbara down through LA, they've got some sprinkles to work through. This is a little bit of a stronger cell that is moving in our direction. Not a great opportunity for this to come to fruition. It seems like it'll kind of trickle down a bit before it gets to us, but that could still culminate to some casual showers headed through the morning. What we're watching for more intensely is that first decent wave of wet weather to come for tonight into early tomorrow. That's going to be probably a few tenths of an inch is what we're looking at, and that'll kind of kick off that first wave before our daily opportunity of rain increases. Live look outside right now. Sunrise not coming for another about 35 minutes or so, but you can see how we're working through a good amount of cloud cover. 5-day forecast shows cooler temperatures, cloudier skies, and a better opportunity at that wet weather comes by the end of end of the week, Thursday and Friday in particular. Thursday has some thunderstorms in the mix. Friday, going to be a better opportunity for those cooler temperatures and for those more widespread showers. But let's pause this model at what we see into tomorrow. This is all the way through, pushing through Wednesday and Thursday. You see how those numbers really do start to creep up around the Oceanside, Carlsbad area. But if we were to pause this just around tomorrow morning, we're probably going to get a few tenths of an inch, about 1, 2, maybe 3 tenths of an inch, and then start to see more and more wet weather each day moving forward. This is at 6 a.m. on Thursday, so this is kind of before that main event per se that'll come through Thursday night through Friday, which means we're going to really start to see those numbers increase around that time frame. It is 6:10 right now. Let's take a look at how your roads are shaping up as we start off your Monday morning. It's quiet out there. No major crashes or collisions on our traffic map here. You can head to cbsa.com/traffic for the latest. Let's check in on border wait times out there. San Ysidro Port of Entry, 90-minute wait, so an hour and a half in total. Otay Mesa Port of Entry going to be about an hour and 50 minutes, closer to 2 hours. You could be looking at that Otay Mesa Port of Entry. Back to you.
All right, Evan, thank you for that update. And still ahead here, why there's new hope for negotiations to release more hostages from Gaza.
And a car crashes into an SUV that was part of President Biden's motorcade. We have the latest on this investigation. And a severe storm batters the East Coast, drenching some states in a foot or more of rain. We're going to take a look at the damage left behind.